so.
94.3 WRHD HD1, Farmville, Greenville, the exclusive home for Pirate Athletics. 94.3 The Game. It's 5 o'clock in Pirate Country, and it's time to get pumped up with the P-Man. Hit the door and hit the road. 94.3 The Game is going to get you home, and the P-Man's not holding back.
Yes! Yes! Pirates win! Pirates win!
Bring on the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Holy mackerel! Oh, my goodness!
The flagship station of the ECU Pirates.
Well, we've got a little bit of scattered showers out there here. What else is new, right? It is the Patrick Johnson Show on this Tuesday, shortened week for us here as we had Memorial Day off. Thanks to the guys for putting together a best of. Actually got a little reaction to the best of. People coming back from their holiday weekend. And they were listening to the best of here on Monday, coming back in. Chris Cookie Cook, Clark Willis, all behind
serious, Clark?
this. I'm afraid I am. So it is the Patrick Johnson Show. Look, there's not anybody who's as big an ECU fan as I am. I mean, it's my alma mater. They asked me to do games. I'm very blessed to be able to do that. I root for the Pirates before anybody else. And what is crazy is even me being the cockeyed optimist that I am. I thought it was a long shot for us to host, and I got blown up all weekend, all holiday weekend. I got blown up about are we gonna host? If we do this, are we gonna? And I just think this year, look at the field, look at who's hosting. There's just more depth, especially at the high conference levels of the SEC and the ACC. There's more depth in those leagues. There's just more depth this year than there is. I'm looking, by the way, guys, at the dog. We don't have a dog. We are watching my brother's dog for 2 weeks. We somehow got stuck with that. Not stuck, but we somehow wound up watching the dog for 2 weeks while they go on vacation. By the way, who gets to take a 2-week vacation? That's what I want, a 2-week vacation. So he's
like
here.
It way too much. You might not want to come back if that.
The vacation. We're gonna have a little summertime off here in a few weeks.
Oh yeah, right.
We're taking a good amount of time off from the show in a few weeks. So we'll see. But anyway, the one that probably got hosed on the hosting were the Campbell Camels. Always anonymous text line, just saying Campbell should have hosted. Well, yeah, absolutely. Auburn shouldn't have. It based on what's going on at the University of Kentucky, they shouldn't be hosting. Let's start there. Dateline, Lexington. If I can find the story, damn it. Hang on. It's not on this. So, at the University of Kentucky in Lexington, I mean, it's a pretty sizable town. It's a college town, but it's also a town that gets a lot of major events that come through because of the Rupp Arena there. And our guy Ben Upton with the 11.7 podcast reporting today that there's apparently some kind of music festival going on, a country music festival in Lexington this weekend. So all the hotel rooms are booked in Lexington. So now West Virginia, Indiana, who the Pirates played earlier in the season. West Virginia, by the way, coached by Randy Mazey, who coached at ECU one time. And Ball State are all playing in Lexington in the regional. There are no hotels. So all the players are having to stay, and the staff, the coaching staff, and the members of the staff who are part of the travel party are all having to stay in dorms on campus at University of Kentucky. They have like 2 twin beds in each one of these dorms, and each floor has a 55-foot 55-inch LED type of screen. I sound like my granddad describing a television. They have a 55-inch television. That's it. There's no TVs in the room, so it's not like a typical hotel setup. You have you ever been to summer camp? Like, did you ever go to a summer sporting camp, Cookie? Or is this lost on you? Wrestling? Like pro wrestling?
I was an amateur wrestler also, yeah.
Oh, you were an amateur. So you guys went to like a college, like summer camp. The team went to Okay. And when you go to the college, you probably stayed at a dorm on the campus where you went to the college.
Mine was a high school one. Like, I was in middle school and we went to a high school, so it was probably different.
Well, then this is way different. So if you ever went to team camp, you usually stay at the college and you stay at it. But I mean, they've got it's nothing there. You got the bed, the 2 beds, and that's it. That's pathetic in Kentucky. They deserve to be they didn't deserve to be a host. Okay. Based on this story, I would agree with you. So Barstools is reporting, on top of Ben Upton's report, that Kentucky is charging the teams in its regional $185 a night for players to stay in dorm rooms because all the hotels in Lexington are booked for this country music festival. So not only can they not get a hotel, but the University of Kentucky says, we want some more of that NCAA money, and they're charging these schools $185 a night to stay in a room with no television and probably questionable air conditioning. And even worse, what are the parents going to do? You know, the family members and the girlfriends and all that of the teams that want to go watch them. Tough stuff. Not good. So that is the starting point, the launching point for us here today. We've got ECU in the regional, as you know by now, at Charlottesville, a place where the Pirates have been before. There's obviously connections there with Coach Mack, who's the associate head coach. And Cliff's got a very good relationship with UVA's head coach. We're going to hear from Coach Godwin coming up in our second half hour here today on the PJ Show. So looking forward to talking with him. And we'll get into what was a tough deal for the Pirates. Once you get in that loser's bracket, it is virtually impossible to get through. And some real interesting stuff from the Pirates, kind of some all-time great stuff there as they tried to do what they could to win. And it's Tulane winning with just 19 wins. They're the number 4 seed in the regional at LSU. Pirates will be taking on Oklahoma. The Sooners were last year's NCAA runner-up. Oklahoma finished 7th in the Big 12. They went 1-2 in the Big 12 tournament. They're a lot like ECU last year. They outside of their tournament exit, they kind of remind folks that I've talked to about some aspects of that ECU team from last year. But Oklahoma's 31-26. They were among the last teams in the tournament. Army's also in that UVA regional. They won the Patriot League regular season tournament. They've won 38 games. They're batting over 300. And then you got UVA, of course, the number 1 seed. Pirates are the 2 seed in the Charlottesville regional. But the Cavaliers finished second in the ACC. They were knocked out of pool play of the ACC tournament. Basically, when you lose that first game in the ACC tournament, you're kind of done. 45 wins for UVA on the season, and they lead the nation. They can rake 334. Their ERA as a staff is sub-4. So that is what the Pirates have before them. 7 o'clock will be the air time on or the first pitch time, and it should work out because UVA and Army are playing at noon. So the Pirates will come back, and they'll have a 7 o'clock game against Oklahoma Friday night, 6:45 airtime on 94.3 The Game. The Rose Rampants are going to be playing, as we told you last week, in the state championship series for the second time in 3 years. The 3As will play at the Burlington Athletic Stadium. Interesting that the association is sending both the 3A and the 4A series to that antiquated stadium. Think a less glamorous Granger Stadium, kind of an old dumpy stadium. I mean, it's fine for what it is in Burlington, but it hasn't had a whole lot of work done to it. It's in kind of an industrial area. There's a park near there, but I mean, it's kind of in a winding area. And they built the stadium there actually in Burlington because when workers would get off from the textile mills, which kind of surround this park, they would go to the baseball games. It was entertainment in the summer for those that were working in the factories in Burlington, apparently. So it's a story I got anyway years ago. And Rose will be playing there 8:00 on Friday night. The Rampants will play West Henderson in Game 1 of their best-of-3 series, and will turn around and play at 2 the next day. If they go to a third game or an if game, would either be at 5 or 8 on Saturday. So I understand we're bringing you radio coverage. Croft Massey et al. Will be on the coverage this weekend on 103.7 WTIB. So we'll have Rampant baseball for you, and we'll be bringing you the opportunity for the Rampants to win number 8 all time, as RV and the Rampants are doing quite well. By the way, here's Cliff Godwin when it was announced that they are going to play at the UVA Regional. He was talking to the media yesterday.
You know, you've been in college baseball long enough that you have a lot of friends. You know, I really, personally didn't want to go to UVA or Clemson because of my ties to Clemson with Eric and Nick, and then UVA, Coach Max, one of my mentors. We've done this before, several times. That seems like the committee likes for us to get paired up, but, at the end of the day, we've got to go out there and compete, and that's what we look forward to doing.
And Harold Varner III got a win in the Live Washington, D.C. event, which was the biggest and most well-attended Live tournament so far. Live's actually drawn pretty well this year. And, of course, that was on the CW or the CW.com, the network that the Live Golf is being shown on this year. Our guy David Farady's on those broadcasts. But the one thing I will say about Live and their broadcasts are they show a lot of golf shots. Now, I don't think they have any commercials, so that, helps. But, I mean, it's constant golf on the Live telecast. And that's one thing, in my opinion, that the other networks get totally wrong most of the time. You don't see enough golf shots on the other coverage. You see about every shot on Live, which is great. I think it's the way it ought to be. So Live does a lot of really good things with their production. But Harold Varner III, the winner there. This is from a news report that HV3 talked about seizing the opportunity given to him.
Knew exactly what I had to do, when I had to do it, how I had to do it. I love that. That's why you play that moment. You don't get as many in golf, those types of moments, but that was mine.
So Harold Varner taking home $4 million for the Live victory. Everybody's wondering why these guys went to Live. That's part of it. It wins the DC tournament by a shot over Brandon Grace. Had to birdie the final hole. HV3 shot 64, 72, and 68. Meantime, at the Charles Schwab, Emiliano Grillo, who knew, won that less event. But we're actually about to get on a really good run as far as golf goes and interest in the events. Ryan Blaney winning the Coke 600. That snaps a near 60 race winless streak for him, his 8th career victory. And let me see if there's anything else on here. We got something on the sports gambling I want to get to. They had another couple of deaths at Churchill Downs with the horse races this
Wait, are you serious?
Friday and Saturday. Yeah, there were a couple other races there.
Going on?
So I have no idea, but I mean, it's awful. And what they're doing today is who's over the horse racing in Kentucky was having an emergency meeting today. I guess it took 12 dying in the last few weeks to finally call that emergency meeting. But it's just terrible. And, I hear about in the sports gambling stuff here, they want to have, horse racing potentially. Just don't like it. I really don't. And it's just, when you see these animals dying at the rate that they've died in Kentucky, and there's just no answer. What we will see. Hopefully something will come out of that. We'll get more into the sports gambling bit for you. We'll also have a Pirate Report next segment. Cliff Godwin, you'll hear from him more. in just a little bit. In fact, we'll talk to him after Cookie's update at the bottom of the hour. So we'll take a break. We'll come back, and we will have for you where sports gambling might very well be in the state, plus a Pirate report. We'll hear from some ECU players at yesterday's viewing party event where it was announced that the Pirates are going to the Charlottesville Regional.
We're back in minutes with more of the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
You should go have that tested.
Make sure to listen or watch now on the new IBX Media app. Get it now in the App Store or Google Play.
I'm in the studio with my friend Sproul Alexander, who is the Senior Vice President for Town Insurance. And Sproul, people keep coming to Town Insurance. Tell us why.
Henry, it's really simple. It's because of our insurance knowledge, our product choices, our ability to service our clients, and our community involvement.
That's true. We see Town Insurance everywhere. But now let's talk about the choices. What kind of choices are there? What kind of insurance do you handle for people?
Our choices are endless. No matter what kind of insurance that you may need, we can handle it for you.
And we're talking about business. We're talking about health insurance. We're talking about home and auto, the whole gamut.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, folks, come to town. That's Town Insurance. And tell us the telephone number they can reach you.
252-756-8300.
And the website?
Towninsurance.com. Town with an E.
Got to put that E on the town. Folks, now is the time to come to town. Town Insurance.
You know, it just hit me. A lot of people think that Rough Greens is dog food. Not at all. Rough Greens is a dog supplement. Greetings. I'm naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, founder of Rough Greens, and you may already know this, but dog food is dead food. And Rough Greens is what our furry family members desperately want and need nutritionally to rebuild their immune system so they can feel better and live longer. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just sprinkle on some Rough Greens with the live vitamins, minerals, probiotics, digestive enzymes, omega oils, tons of antioxidants, all to help with their low energy, achy joints, bad breath, and all the other problems they have. So yes, my dogs and I are still offering a free Jumpstart trial bag, so your dog can try it. All you got to do is cover the shipping. Hey, it's an easy, smart way to help your furry friend feel better and live longer. A free Jumpstart trial bag can be at your door within a few business days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com.
Concert on the Common.
Inner Banks Media's got the biggest and best free live shows in ENC.
And it gets even better Thursday, June 8th, when Landslide hits the Town Common in Greenville.
Landslide, a tribute to Fleetwood Mac on the Greenville Toyota Amphitheater stage. Live music, food, adult beverages, giveaways, and fun for the whole family.
Still to come.
The Legacy Motown Review, The Embers featuring Craig Woolard, and the Leonard Skinner Tribute Band, Tuesday is Gone.
Find out more at concertonthecommon.org.
Special thanks to the City of Greenville and the Junior League of Greenville.
Concert on the Common is sponsored by ECU Health, Michelob Ultra, Pitt Greenville Airport, Greenville Toyota, The Air Doctor, Greenville Utilities, The Ritchie Law Firm, Sawyer's Fun Park, Polly Pylan State Farm Insurance, Eastern Plumbing, Town Bank, Specialty FDR, Optimum, Wells Roofing and Gutters,
and Inner Banks Media.
Have you noticed he's in his own little happy hour? We're back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
This is the Happy Hour program.
Here's the P-Man.
All right, welcome back. Nice to have you with us here today. Pirate Report coming your way in a couple of minutes. The Always Anonymous text line from various angles is hopping today. They talked about Randy Mazey and gave him a nickname, would be very upset. I imagine all the coaches are upset about this situation in Lexington. I mean, having to stay in dorms and getting charged nearly $200 a night. But I love the nickname that the guy gave Mazey in the Always Anonymous text line. Can't repeat it. Sorry. Can't repeat it. Also getting a text on the Always Anonymous text line. Apparently there's a really good Cookie 30 for 30 podcast that ESPN has got that talks about horse racing and dives into a lot of the issues with it.
Well, they need to figure out whatever's going on currently, because it seems like every Monday or Tuesday we have this show, there's news of a death over the weekend.
I mean, it's been that way for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean, it's absurd.
It's crazy.
It's absurd. I mean, and these animals are getting hurt. These horses are getting hurt somehow, some way. I don't know. Maybe it's overtraining. Maybe it's something at the track. Maybe it's something more nefarious. Who the hell knows? But this is happening, and then they're getting euthanized. They're getting put down. I mean, it's just it's sickening. It's really bad. Somebody also on the Always Anonymous text line not happy about the 4A and the 3A, which in the 4A championship series, Wake Forest has a handful of guys going to play D1 baseball. All playing at the ballpark in Burlington. The other site is sort of the brand new ballpark for the Coastal Plains League team in Holly Springs. That's like a really, really nice ballpark. That's where the 1As and 2As are playing. And for whatever the reason, the NCHSAA has put the two bigger classifications in probably the worst facility that's hosting one of these events this year. Always Anonymous text line saying they could screw up a TV dinner. That's a good line. That's funny. All right, sports gambling, the state of that in North Carolina. And right now, a check of your Pirate Report before we get into that.
And now, Patrick Johnson with today's Pirate Report on the flagship station of the ECU Pirates, 94.3 The Game.
All right, we'll hear more from Coach Godwin coming up in a little bit, but let's get his opening statement from yesterday, Cut 1.
Glad we're still playing. I think a lot of people take it for granted when you make it to the postseason. I was thinking about Mississippi State. They won a national championship 3 years ago. They hadn't been in the postseason in 2 years. So what we've done here at East Carolina is awesome, and we're just glad to still be playing.
All right, Cookie, let's skip ahead to Carter Cunningham. Cut 5 on the vast soundbite roster today. Carter Cunningham swinging as hot a bat as anybody in the country. He says he is pumped and ready to go for regional play.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half from home, so I should get some friends and family there. I also played summer ball in Charlottesville this past summer, so I'm familiar with the area. We're super excited. Coach Godwin says, we don't really care who we play, when we play, where we play. As long as we play our brand of baseball, we'll be set.
And he says it's not a big deal that the Pirates are not hosting this year.
Yeah, I mean, last year was my first year here, obviously, and obviously we have a great track record of hosting. The vibe was a little bit different, but overall, like I said, we don't care where we play, who we play, as long as we play our brand, we'll be set. We're super excited that we're still playing and have this opportunity to go into another place and get some wins.
Josh Moylan says he's glad they are playing a team or in a setting where they are somewhat familiar.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited. Postseason baseball is great, and when it's a team you've played before, obviously it's fall, inter squads, that kind of thing. But when you're familiar with a team and you have to go somewhere, it's honestly not a bad spot to go to. And I know I'm excited. I'll have some family there because I'm not too far. But yeah, it should be good.
Now that, of course, they played UVA in the fall inter squads. They got to play Oklahoma first, and both teams would have to win. UVA over Army, ECU over Oklahoma, and none of that is guaranteed. This is Moylan talking about hosting the regionals and not doing it this time around.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really nerves. I think we all kind of knew we were going to be in. It's just more of where we're going. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly, I think I might have taken it for granted hosting the regionals and all. You don't see your name popping up on the host site. You're like, oh man, that's a reality. But we've been fortunate enough to be able to do it for a while now, and I know our fans travel well, and it's kind of nice that it's in Virginia. I think we'll have a good amount of fans there. But yeah, I know we're all excited.
So the Double R Express, Ryan Robinson, I was texting him today, and the Pirates are getting 200 tickets to this. I can't imagine Oklahoma's going to bring 200 people. They might. I don't know. So that might be an entree into getting some tickets. And then Army, I don't imagine they would have a huge group of fans with them. But so there's probably ways to get tickets, but that's one of the other parts of this when you're not hosting. It's one of those things you're limited to the tickets, but 200 is what ECU was offered for participating in this regional. We'll now hear from Jacob Jenkins Cowart. By the way, well, I'll get to that in a second. JJC talks about the history between Virginia, the host, and ECU as well.
Yeah, excited to go there. Obviously, hey, I have some history with them. I think, was it 17 we won the regional there? 16.
Think,
yeah. And then we had them here last year, so we also played them in the fall scrimmage this fall. So we got a good relationship with them, but it'll be good to go there.
All right, Jacob Jenkins Coward says it will be exciting to see new faces and new teams, however.
It's definitely different not hosting because, that's what we're used to here. But, yeah, it's exciting. It's just, seeing some new faces, playing some different teams. Oklahoma's far away, I think. I've never been that far, so. But, yeah, I'm excited to play them.
Oklahoma's far, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
Yeah, but he thinks.
Pretty far.
I don't know. I just thought that was funny.
Well, it may not be. I mean, it depends on how you're getting there, right?
Yeah,
I've binged some of Tulsa King this weekend because we had a little preview. My wife signs up for all these home delivery things, and I think through Walmart home delivery, there is a Paramount Plus was attached to it, so we had Paramount Plus. I did not see the Kiefer Sutherland thing I wanted to see. I don't know if I'll have time to see it because I'm not paying $12.95 a month for streaming on Paramount Plus. I'm just not. Despite you thinking I have a ton of money, Cookie, I have to be budget conscious.
No,
like the rest of America.
You can afford another streaming service.
No, I can't. I already pay an ungodly amount of money for TV and internet because I have to have it for work-related purposes. And I pay for Peacock for some reason. You know why I pay for Peacock?
WWE, am I right?
No, I paid for it so we could watch Clark's movie. And my wife said Halloween 9 or whatever he starred in with Jamie Lee Curtis. What was it, Clark?
He was in Halloween Kills.
Halloween 19, I think it was. And I subscribed to Peacock so I could watch Clark's movie a year ago. And I said to my wife, do we want to keep this? She said, oh, yeah, there might be some things on here. You know how many times she's watched Peacock since we've subscribed to it?
I'm guessing that might be the only time. If this is
that was the only time.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, hey, you got the WWE pay-per-views on there, right? You can watch WrestleMania, SummerSlam.
Didn't they have there was a bunch of wrestling this weekend, wasn't there?
Seth Rollins is the new – okay, they split up the belts again.
Okay.
I just think they're splitting up the belts way too much.
So the WWE had a pay-per-view or whatever they call it now?
Yes.
Is that what I'm understanding?
And now Reigns has still the 2 belts, and Rollins has a whole new 3rd world title. I don't know what they're doing, man.
Doesn't make much sense. And then I guess AEW had a pay-per-view this weekend.
Yeah, and just more of their crap.
And then NXT, according to Twitter, had something as well this weekend, which is a WWE offshoot. So you didn't think I knew all this, did you, Cookie?
No, I didn't.
I couldn't tell you who won anything. I'm just telling you what's going on there. Let's see here. All conference or all tournament members, for the Pirates. Danny Beal, there's nobody who's been more lights out than he's been. We heard from Carter Cunningham and Josh Moylan, both all conference selections, and Jacob Starling, Pirates second baseman. We'll hear from Cliff Godwin coming up in a bit. Let me find the sports gambling here. Sports bettors, reading from a WRAL article, our guy Chris Murphy, who covers this. Sports bettors in North Carolina have waited years for lawmakers to legalize widespread sports wagering. The wait could soon be over, and a new wait is just beginning. Reading from the article here again. The state Senate is expected to vote tomorrow and Thursday, so Wednesday and Thursday, on the current version of House Bill 347, which would allow adults in North Carolina to bet on college, professional, and other sports on their phone and electronic devices, and authorize the creation of 8 in-person sports books at venues across the state. So this is one of the other big takeaways for this. The other big takeaway from this is that apparently the House has no problem with what the Senate has added to it, the increased tax rate and some of the other things that they've added. The Senate committees passed the legislation today. They made additional changes, including giving the Lottery Commission authority to push back the start date from January 8th, the effective date for the legislation. If the Senate, as expected, moves on the bill this week, it must still pass the House and be signed by Governor Roy Cooper before becoming law. Governor says he will sign it. And so it would seem like, and again, it seems like the House, according to all indications, has no problem with what the Senate has done. If Cooper signs
You're looking at a big sports fan right here.
we know, Gov, that could push the start date into mid-June 2024, which would mean it would not be at the Super Bowl this year. Cooper is barking and growling at somebody out of the window here of the home studio. So that is where this is headed. We'll have more coverage on this tomorrow and Thursday. Also, tomorrow, Mike Mullis, our old friend, will be with us. Mully in the house, as we'll preview the NCAA Charlottesville Regional and the overall NCAA tournament. And Mully has a lot of homework that he's done on the Rose Baseball Series. We'll have more details on that as well. All right, Cookie right now with a 94-3 the game sports update. As we will, don't you want to be on camera, honey? No, she does not. All right, 94-3 the game sports update and Pirate Report with the one and only Chris Cook. We will have that for you right now. And when we come back, Cliff Godwin joins the Patrick Johnson Show. Cookie, take it away.
The field is set for the NCAA College Baseball Tournament. East Carolina will make its 33rd NCAA Regional appearance after earning an at-large bid to the Charlottesville Regional. The Pirates will square off with Regional number 3 seed Oklahoma in a first-round game at 7 on Friday evening. Pirate head coach Cliff Godwin on how special it is to still be playing here in the postseason.
Glad we're still playing. I think a lot of people take it for granted when you make it to the postseason. I was thinking about Mississippi State. They won a national championship 3 years ago. They hadn't been in the postseason in 2 years. So what we've done here at East Carolina is awesome, and we're just glad to still be playing.
Top seed Virginia will face number 4 seed Army West Point at noon. ECU's game against the Sooners, last year NCAA tournament runner-up, will air on 94.3 the game. Wake Forest is the top overall seed after finishing the season with a 47-10 record. North Carolina, Duke, NC State, Campbell, Charlotte, and UNC Wilmington have also qualified. The regionals begin on Friday. East Carolina sophomore Trey Savage has been selected as a 2023 Collegiate National Team roster invitee, according to an announcement by USA Baseball on Tuesday. The right-handed pitcher is only the 7th Pirate in program history to receive an invitation. J.H. Rose advanced to its 2nd state baseball championship series in 3 seasons. The Rampants now have their opponent for this weekend in the Class 3A NCHSAA Championship. Rose will play West Henderson at Burlington's Athletic Stadium this weekend, with Game 1 of the best-of-3 series set to begin at 8 p.m. on Friday. Over the weekend, ECU golf alumni Harold Varner III winning the Live Golf DC event.
I've played with my family well. I've played terrible with my family there. So that doesn't bother me. You know, they make the bad rounds better. The good rounds are just good rounds, because in 20 years from now, no one's going to remember who won this tournament, who won any tournament. They're going to remember how you helped them. I've always said that. So, yeah, it's good, but at the end of the day, I really wanted to celebrate with the Range Goats. And that's my team. I'm hurting a little bit for TP. I know he's pretty pissed, but he'll get better. I just sucks. I know he's super excited to play today.
The tournament saw the largest crowd to attend a Live event. Ryan Blaney is celebrating a win at the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The driver of the number 12 car edged out William Byron for the top spot to claim his first NASCAR Cup Series win since 2021. Byron started the race from the pole after qualifying was rained out over the weekend and recorded his 7th top 5 finish of the season. Martin Truex Jr., Bubba Wallace, and Tyler Reddick rounded out the top 5 finishers. Last weekend's NASCAR All-Star race winner Kyle Larson came in 30th. Duke fell short of their first ever men's lacrosse national championship title since 2014. The Blue Devils lost to Notre Dame 13-9 in the national championship game on Monday night in Philadelphia. The 3-time national champions have now finished as the national runner-up in 2018 and here in 2023. Notre Dame claims its first national championship and takes down Duke, who defeated them in the championship game in 2010 and 2014. And finally, the Panthers are hitting the field for the second week of organized team activities. Carolina will continue OTA offseason workouts tomorrow that will run through Friday. The Panthers are gearing up towards their mandatory minicamp that begins on June 13th. That'll do it for your 94.3 The Game Sports Update. This sports update is brought to you by the new IBX Media app. Listen to this and other shows such as Talk of the Town and Hoist the Colors on the new free app from IBX Media for your smartphone. Now available on the App Store and on Google Play. More of the Patrick Johnson Show with head coach Cliff Godwin on the other side of this quick timeout right here on 94.3 The Game.
We're back in minutes with more of the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
You should go have that tested.
Make sure to listen or watch now on the new IBX Media app. Get it now in the App Store or Google Play. Hear 94.3 The Game anytime on the IBX Media app.
Is it free?
Yes.
The only app you need.
I love the app.
Download it for free in the App Store or Google Play and get to your favorite radio station in 2 clicks. All your sports, music, talk, and podcasts, including the latest from Steve and I Go at Hoist the Colors and year-round coverage from the East Carolina Sports Network. Listen live anytime, anywhere to ENC Radio's best.
I always listen.
Download the app.
The IBX Media app.
Greenville's best restaurant for dinner, weekend brunch, and spirits is Seared Chop House on Fire Tower Road. Seared Chop House is the place to go for choice cuts of USDA meats, excellent seafood, and an impressive selection of wine and cocktails. Seared Chop House has been recently renovated, and you'll find a fresh look to the restaurant and bar area. To order online, check out the menu, or to reserve the Seared private room, head over to SearedChopHouse.com. Treat yourself tonight at Seared Chop House.
At US Cellular, you can get one line for just $29.99 with unlimited data, which is good news for you, friendly hermit who shuns society and lives in a cabin all by himself.
Wow, thanks. You know, you'd be surprised how much data a hermit goes through.
Actually, I'm not that surprised at all. US Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Spring is here and summer is right on our doorstep. We're all looking forward to outside and enjoying the warm weather and long days. Let the team at Cellular Warehouse help you start enjoying these days by eliminating the 2 to 3 hour wait in the local store. They come right to your home or office and handle all of your cellular needs. Best of all, their front door service is free of charge. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051 and let his team start making life easy again. That's 252-799-7051. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
For over 100 years, the families at Bertie County Peanuts have been growing and selling peanuts. Much has changed since 1919, but quality is still number one. So if you are looking for great North Carolina snacks and gifts, look no further than Bertie County Peanuts. Small batch, hand-cooked, and 100% guaranteed. You can't go wrong with their gourmet peanuts. Shop online at BertieCountyPeanuts.net, and the shipping is now free. Or visit them at Powell and Stokes in Windsor. Bertie County Peanuts, a North Carolina tradition.
Hi there, my name's Ryan McChrystal, catcher for the ECU Pirates. As the catcher, I see the importance of insurance every day on the field. Just like a catcher's gear protects me from harm, insurance protects you and your family from the unexpected. East Coast Agency has always been there for me, and they'll be there for you too. Just like a catcher is always ready for the next pitch, you should always be prepared for life's curveballs. Contact East Coast Agency today at eca-insure.com or call 910-446-5061 for East Coast Agency. Go Pirates!
Have you noticed he's in his own little happy hour? We're back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
This is the Happy Hour program.
Here's the P-Man.
Yesterday, East Carolina found out they are headed to the UVA Charlottesville Regional. That is got a bit of a familiar ring to it for a lot of reasons. And Coach Cliff Godwin back with us today on the Patrick Johnson Show. We appreciate his time always. Coach, it felt like you guys were gone a month.
Well, thanks for having me. I think it was like 11 or 12 days. So our guys did a good job on the road handling their business. And, we played really good baseball for the most part and, came up a little bit short. But I told our guys Sunday night when we got home that I was extremely proud of them, that a lot of teams would have just packed it in after they lost on Tuesday, especially the way we lost. It was a tough loss. And our guys didn't. And then you talk about the amount of time we spent at the baseball field this year it's the longest that we've ever spent at the baseball field in Clearwater. I mean, we were just there. Rain delays, light outages, 13-inning games, doubleheaders, you name it, we saw it, which it's just going to help us because we've been extremely battle-tested this year going into the postseason.
Well, I think that's one of the things that just comes to mind. There's a belief in this team, no matter what the scenario, what the situation, they're just going to go out and do everything they can to claw back into games if they're behind, and if the odds are stacked against them, they're not going to give up. They're going to keep coming.
Absolutely. I mean, we got down in a lot of the games. We're able to come back. In some games, we got down multiple times. It's like the South Florida game. I guess that would have been the third time we played them in the tournament. We got down 4-0, then we got down 3 runs, and we just kept coming, and we're able to win that game. I think 14-7. So a lot of resiliency shown by our team.
And Tulane with the win and the championship, and that means a couple of representatives out of the American. So there is that. What about Tulane? How did they kind of catch fire? We obviously know they can hit. Where did they catch fire in the tournament in your mind, Coach?
To be honest with you, I didn't watch a lot of their games, so you probably know better than me. They did swing the bats well. They turned around some of the pitchers that are older guys that maybe don't have, a future in professional baseball. They threw a lot of pitches and they pitched again against us, which is fine. I mean, that's not why we lost. We didn't play good. We're mentally and physically fatigued, and we just couldn't get to play to the best level of who we are. You talk about the gauntlet that we ran through, and as tough as our kids are, there's also a breaking point, and I just felt like we could not. Once we got down 3-0, we took the lead, and then they got ahead. We just didn't have another comeback in us, and that's why we were trying to almost clear the bench and put fresh players in there because, our guys were. I mean, what Wilcoxon did. I mean, he caught every inning of that gauntlet that we ran through. I mean, I don't know that there's many catchers in the country that could do what he did.
Yeah, absolutely, and. Just a gutsy performance by the Pirates all the way around. It seems like every time, Coach, we get to the postseason, one way or the other, there's going to be a LeClaire tie or someone that East Carolina's got some familiarity with or some history playing. Coach Mack, in the case of UVA's their associate head coach, and I know it was another one of the guys in this sport that's real instrumental in you as a baseball player, but also you as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, there's no, secret to what Coach Mack has meant to me. He coached me here. He's a mentor. The highest praise I can give if I were to ever get married, he'd stand in my wedding. And his family is, I'm part of his family, and he would tell you that. And, Brian O'Connor, too. I mean, we were on the Team USA staff in 2018 with Paul Maneri, and went to Cuba together and spent, pretty much a month together. And he's a great guy. And, Kyle Till, the catcher for UVA, was on the USA team this past summer, and so was Geloff. So a lot of connections. We do play Oklahoma first, so the UVA connection's there, but we got to worry about Oklahoma before we worry about anybody else.
Absolutely, and this is a team that in Oklahoma that obviously runner-up in the nation last year. So I mean, they've got some arms, and of course, when you just get to this time of year, and I think Coach Godwin, more than any other year, just the depth of the field might be the greatest it's been, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, the just the talent level. Teams are older with the COVID years and the transfer portal. It's super competitive. It's highly competitive across the country. And this time of year, as I told our guys, everybody's good. And, the media will talk about this regional being super hard, this one being easy. And you can throw all that crap out the window because it's postseason baseball. And, everybody's going to be playing their best at this time of the year.
And another one of the places that ECU was maybe linked to, murmured about, you remarked about this yesterday, but obviously there's the ties to Clemson as well. And they're hosting, and boy, what a turnaround they've had in their season. Clemson has. So again, there's just a lot of rooting interest, I would think, for Pirate fans beyond East Carolina, and there's just other teams you'll root for when they're not playing the Pirates.
Absolutely. I mean, Eric and Nick being their first year and to really have a rough start. And, I think it was the second or third weekend UCF went in there and swept them. And, things didn't look good. And they just stayed the course and kept being the great coaches they are. And the team has played unbelievable. I mean, they're probably the hottest team in the country right now. And I don't think anybody wants to face those guys.
And one of the great interviews that I had the privilege of doing was when we talked to you and Bakich at the same time. I don't know if you remember that a couple years ago, but what you guys were great, and it just when you look back, the Coach LeClaire, and we've talked about it so many times, Coach, just the Coach LeClaire tree, especially in this postseason. I mean, it's pretty broad.
It is for sure. Lynn and the family are coming up to Charlottesville, which she's just an angel of a human being. And, I wasn't sure if she would stay down just because she lives right outside of Clemson and because Eric and Nick were hosting. And, she texted me like there was no question that she's coming to our regional. So that's pretty special. And I just appreciate her and what she means to me and what she means to Pirate Nation.
Coach, it certainly any time that you see your name on the board of the watch party and all of that, and we had some great video from that yesterday, it's still pretty exciting, isn't it, to get this time of year?
Well, it is. And, our fans need to realize that, and I just say this because we've been spoiled because of what our players have done here and what our coaches have done here to be able to host 4 straight regionals. And of course, everybody, that's one of our goals is to host a regional and host a super regional, but that's not normal. Like you look across the country, and I just use Mississippi State for an example, but they won a national championship 3 years ago and they haven't made the SEC tournament the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss won the national championship last year. They're not in the postseason. And to know that your name's going to be called and not sit there and go, I don't know, it's awesome to have 45 wins. It's awesome. Like our guys have put together a great body of work, and they're, like I said, they're battle tested. They're ready to go. So we're excited to just be playing. It's fun to still be playing in June. It's not fun when you're sitting home in June.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. What will the kind of the week from today on till you depart to Charlottesville look like?
Our guys are lifting this morning. And then we're going to have a little team meal, and then we're going to take them bowling this afternoon. And tomorrow we'll practice tomorrow morning here, get them some food, and then we'll head out around 1:30 tomorrow to head to Charlottesville because we practice at 11:30 on Thursday in Charlottesville.
There you go, a little bowling. Nice distraction and diversion for the guys and a little team building too. Is there a particularly good bowler on the roster that you know?
Supposedly, Josh Mullen has his own ball and shoes, so I think guys should be worried about him. Supposedly, he's a ringer.
That does not surprise me in the slightest bit, actually. That does not surprise me in the slightest bit. By the way, Moylan, another one of those guys. It's just what a year he's put together. You mentioned Will Cox, and there's just guys. Again, I can't tell you how impressed I am, Coach, with proud I am of the program and how the guys just kept coming this weekend, and I mean, could have, as you said, packed it in. So I know everybody's roaring and ready to go. When you look at it, I know it's pretty simple, but if you had to pinpoint or go in the direction of a couple of things, Coach, for success in the postseason, what will it be for ECU?
Be ourselves, not do anything differently. Go out there and play our brand of baseball and show up, compete. Those things. I mean, the things that we've done all year. I think teams get themselves in trouble when they try to do something different. We're not going to try to do anything different. We're just going to be ourselves.
Ought to be a heck of a game, ECU and Oklahoma on Friday night. Coach, thank you for the time again today. Really appreciate it. Best of luck, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Charlottesville.
Thanks, Patrick. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yep, thank you. Cliff Godwin with us here. Really appreciate Coach G with the time as ECU will be leaving tomorrow for the Charlottesville Regional. The gambling on baseball situation at Alabama has actually touched a team in the American. This was something that came out last week, and we'll give you the very latest on it right after these words.
We're back in minutes with more of the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
You should go have that tested.
Make sure to listen or watch now on the new IBX Media app. Get it now in the App Store or Google Play.
Concert on the Common.
Inner Banks Media's got the biggest and best free live shows in ENC.
And it gets even better Thursday, June 8th, when Landslide hits the Town Common in Greenville.
Landslide, a tribute to Fleetwood Mac on the Greenville Toyota Amphitheater stage. Live music, food, adult beverages, giveaways, and fun for the whole family.
Still to come.
The Legacy Motown Review, The Embers featuring Craig Woolard, and the Leonard Skinner Tribute Band. Tuesday is gone.
Find out more at concertonthecommon.org.
Special thanks to the City of Greenville and the Junior League of Greenville.
Concert on the Common is sponsored by ECU Health, Michelob Ultra, Pitt Greenville Airport, Greenville Toyota, The Air Doctor, Greenville Utilities, Sir Richie Law Firm, Sawyer's Fun Park, Polly Pylan State Farm Insurance, Eastern Plumbing, Town Bank, Specialty FDR, Optimum, Wells Roofing and Gutters,
and Inner Banks Media.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 252-765-PAIN. That's 252-765-7246. 252-765-PAIN.
Pitt County Schools proudly congratulates its class of 2023. They salute their graduates for successfully completing one of life's many journeys, especially one that began in very challenging times. Please join them in celebrating the accomplishments of this class and encouraging their continued growth as our leaders of the future, locally, regionally, nationally, and globally. Cherish yesterday, live for today, and reach for tomorrow.
Steel professional-grade battery-powered tools. Whether you're looking for the performance to take on residential and commercial landscaping, or the power to get the job done in the forest or at the construction site, Steel has battery equipment built with pros in mind. From low-noise operation to relentless performance, Steel Pro battery tools are built for you and built for work. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
And now, the stunning conclusion of the show. It's the P-Man here on 94.3 The Game.
So, Pat Forty, Ross Dellinger has been on the show a few times, Richard Johnson, all from SI, reporting last week about a father of one of the Cincinnati Bearcat pitchers connected to this gambling scandal. That created the coach for Alabama to be dismissed. One of the people involved's activity is the connective thread between simultaneous NCAA investigations of baseball teams at Alabama and Cincinnati. 3 coaches have been fired. Sports Illustrated again reporting this. Bert Eugene Neff Jr., who's from Indiana, placed wagers that raised suspicion at the sports book at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati before an Alabama-LSU baseball game in late April. sportsbook surveillance indicated Neff was in communication with the Crimson Tide head coach Brad Bohannon at the time he placed the wager. Bohannon, of course, was fired on May 4th. Since, two Cincinnati staffers, assistant coach Kyle Sprague and their operations director Andy Nagel, were terminated on May 17th for what sources say was knowledge of Neff's gambling activity, which the men did not report to school administrators. Seems like there's a little more to meets the eye there. The school launched an internal review on May 8th and publicly acknowledged the dismissal of Sprague and Nagel on May 24th. It is not clear whether Neff placed wagers on Cincinnati games. Now, Andrew Neff is a pitcher for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Bert Neff is a former college pitcher at Louisville in Indiana and was involved as a coach and administrator over the years with youth baseball teams in central Indiana. Sources describe him as well-connected within youth baseball and college baseball realms. Neff did not respond to a request for comment from SI. Cincinnati dismissed coaches could not be directly reached to speak on the matter. Nagel declined to comment through his attorney. Cincinnati itself referred to their statement that they had released last week. So this is interesting that Cincinnati has some involvement in this situation, this gambling deal. And again, there's some people who are going to point to this and say, oh, look at the ills of sports wagering. Well, no, this got caught. And it's because they had a system in place that it got caught. And that's what's going to come with the inevitable legalization of sports gambling in North Carolina. Again, that'll be voted on in the Senate tomorrow and Thursday. Thanks to Cliff Godwin for being with us. Congrats to the Pirates for getting to another regional. They're 33rd all-time. Woohoo! And we will have Mike Mullis on tomorrow. Break down the regional. He'll look at the high school baseball championship series that Rose is involved in against West Henderson. So we'll bring that to you tomorrow. See you in the morning on Talk of the Town, 103.7, 96.3, IBX Media app, back here at 5 tomorrow for another exciting live edition of the Patrick Johnson Show. Have a great evening, everybody.
Hear 94.3 The Game anytime on the IBX Media app. Download it for free in the App Store or Google Play and get to your favorite radio station in 2 clicks. All your sports, music, talk, and podcasts. Listen live anytime, anywhere to ENC Radio's best on the IBX Media app.
Barbecue chicken and seafood, Fantastic Sam's Cutting Color, and THC
Hear 94.3 The Game anytime on the IBX Media app. Download it for free in the App Store or Google Play and get to your favorite radio station in 2 clicks. All your sports, music, talk, and podcasts, including the latest from Stephen Igo at Hoist the Colors and year-round coverage from the East Carolina Sports Network. Listen live anytime, anywhere to ENC Radio's best on the IBX Media app. Hear 94.3 The Game anytime on the IBX Media app. Download it for free in the App Store or Google Play and get to your favorite radio station in 2 clicks. All your sports, music, talk, and podcasts. Listen live anytime.